if I wrote the lyrics, it would sound more mechanical, and there would be a more like almost like a systematic kind of way of writing. Whereas like my stuff right now, if you listen to anything in the last like 6 albums, it's very fluid. And yeah, that's kind of the process. I just go in there, wherever the beat directs me, and whatever ideas come into my head in the moment, I'm punching them in, and then you have a song.
Abel, don't kill me, man. I swear, don't kill me. Wasn't recording, man. We gotta do a little bit of this over. I swear, I thought I hit it for some reason. I don't even know why, what happened. But listen, yo, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be professional. This is Marquis Walker, Abel Meri. We're coming here. We're here to address Artificial, his new album. We're gonna. He's from Alexandria, Virginia, VA. He's Ethiopian American. This is the THHC podcast, episode 35. Man, I apologize to the audience. We had a great conversation. We was having a great conversation, and I thought I pressed record, but yo, listen, we didn't really miss too much because the guy's still here, and I appreciate him still being here. So this is once again introducing Abel Meri. I'm sorry, man. I swear to God, I'm looking up. I'm going, why are they recording? Oh shit, yo. But once again, I'm sorry, man.
Yo, everybody's done this.
A little bit of your background again.
Everybody's done this, man. Don't worry.
Oh my God! I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is really good. I'm like, this is great. Then I'm going, what the hell? Oh man, I'm gonna kill myself. But sorry, audience. THHC podcast. Hey, it happens. It happens to the best of us. Abel Meri, like we were saying, we were talking about where you were from. You know, how'd you come about getting here, and how'd you got into hip hop, and then your process of creating an album. If you can backtrack on those 3-4 questions, as we can get into the album.
Yeah, sure. So originally from Ethiopia. I've lived all over the world. Moved to the United States when I was 10, lived in Los Angeles for a few years, and then moved to Virginia, DC area, Northern Virginia. Been here ever since. As far as the second part of that question, the creative process for me at this point is spontaneous. And I don't write down lyrics at all. And when I go into an album, what I do first is I pick the beats that I want to create the sonic landscape and the canvas for the album, for the project, the way that I want it to sound sonically. And then I literally go into a session with nothing pre-written, and whatever the beat tells me, whatever comes to me in the moment is what becomes the song. So that's kind of like my creative process. And that's what has allowed me to record at this pace, because if you look at most people's workflow, the most time consuming part is the actual writing, right? So they'll sit there and it'll take them like days, sometimes weeks to write one song, right? So imagine if you can just completely eliminate that part of the creative process and you could just go spontaneously into making an album. You're able to record at a furious rate. And I don't have I have a mobile studio, so I can record whenever I want. I don't have to punch in with an engineer and schedule studio time. So I'm literally making albums on the fly whenever I want.
So, I mean, is it a program you can share? Is it something that other artists can use? Like, cause it sounds like, but the quality of the albums clear. It sounds great. It sounds like you was in the studio with like Premiere or something. You know what I mean? And it feels good as it's mixed and mastered. So, can you share the program or no?
Yeah. Oh, this is a great question. I'm actually, I'm just like you, right? So me and you were talking about how like we do a whole bunch of different things, right? So it's really hard to describe who we are with so many different things. So one of the things that I started doing now is I'm selling courses that I've designed that actually explain how to do things. So this is the first course I'm actually starting to sell. It's going to be on sale this week on my website at abelmeri.com. It's the actual guide for independent artists, how to record music for free from anywhere and to make it studio quality, right? So if you actually go on my website right now and go to the online store, the preview is there. The actual course will be on sale beginning Tuesday of this week. But I can give you a little bit of the game, right? So
what's the website again?
abelmeri.com, ABELMERI.com. And then just click on the online store, and then under courses and guides, you'll see like a bunch. I'm going to create an entire curriculum, like all the different parts of the game, like the recording part, how to distribute your music, how to monetize it, how to manufacture CDs, break down the economics of streaming. So a lot of artists don't understand how much they're going to get per stream. And then like all of these different things that I've acquired for myself, this is information that a lot of people don't actually know. So I want to collect it and organize it in a way that's easy to understand and reference for aspiring independent artists.
Man, I'm loving the entrepreneurship, man, because this is something that you're actually improving in your you put something that's that's quality. You're putting something together for future artists that that probably would struggle if this wasn't there. It's an idea. It's a bright idea. It's a great idea to expand and to just create more opportunity in hip hop or just music period or people period. That's in the independent field. I'm
exactly.
Is that the website? It got that right? AbelMeri.com?
Yeah, AbelMeri.com. Okay.
Yep. Okay. I didn't want to get it wrong. But like I said, I apologize earlier for not pressing record, man. But it happens, man. I'm loving that you stayed. I'm loving Abel Meri, man. Listen, like I said, your lyrical content is amazing. It's incredible. I found you dealing with a couple other friends and people in the industry, just talking and hanging out with them. I think I was introduced to you from the Great Minds podcast with Derek and Vaughn, and then I think you started then like you kind of like was I think your songs on their intro or something, and I used to I listen to them all the time, and those are some great guys. I actually was on their show, so I appreciate that. But then I was like, man, I gotta get into this artist. But when I started listening to your catalog, I'm like, man, it's gonna take me like 20 weeks to do each album, because like I usually like people go, yo, how come you didn't do the new Still Got Gooks? How come you do the new Rock Marciano? How come you do the new Royce 5'9"? Yo, when it just come out, you can't, because a lot of that stuff's lyrical. Like you can't break that down in like 1 day, 2 days, and then you see people go out and they do it, and I'm like, how did you do that? Because there's no way. You got to sit with a project sometimes if it has content and it's lyrical, the lyrical ability of it, and just the you could tell it's quality. So
yo, and then just to that point, like I kind of realized what you were saying. I came to the same kind of realization. So like my new album is coming out tomorrow. It's called Wordsmith. I actually included the lyrics. So when you buy the actual album from my website, you also get all the lyrics for all the songs with it. You know what I'm saying? And
bringing it back?
Nas, it was written, man. That was like the album that I think that's probably the most pivotal. That and Reasonable Doubt are the most pivotal hip hop albums for me. And I remember it was written, had the actual lyrics in the album, right? So it was a read along.
Open it up.
Yeah,
the lyrics is right there.
Yeah,
that's why I see you bringing it back, because people, nobody knows this, man. Nobody reads album covers anymore, right? Even when they buy that vinyl, they probably like, oh, they got the vinyl. They're not even looking into it. I'm reading everything in the vinyl. I'm like this, staring at every corner of it, and that's what we should do when we were younger, man. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta say our age, but we young, we still young. You know what I'm saying? But yo, we gotta break down this album, man. Listen. I reviewed
Soul
Plane.
Yeah.
Amazing album. I've been listening to most of your other ones. I gotta catch up. Like you said, you did 6 in a row. I believe I listened to all 6. I just gotta like get to them again. Like I said, I can't just review it in 2 seconds. I gotta sit with the project. And I sat with Soul Plane first, and then I discussed that. And I think that was a great project. And then I reviewed this. And like you said, I think you're getting better and better. I don't know how, but you are. Like if people listen to your lyrics or your breakdown, your bars on bars, they're gonna be like, does this dude breathe? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? So do you breathe? What's up with how do you do that? Your voice is an instrument. What's going on with that?
Yo, I'm from the era where you had to actually record on tape, like from the analog era. So it trains you, right? Because you can't punch in those days. You can't even make a mistake on a verse, right? If you sneezed at the end of a perfect verse, you got to re-record it. Whoa. So like now I can just punch in. Yeah, like it's a cheat code right now. So I can just,
I remember that.
Yeah.
But we gotta get into this album, man. Stop playing. Listen. When you did this album, what headspace were you in first? Artificial.
That's it. It was well, I mean, it's a play on words, right? So artificial, and it to me, like it felt like I started listening to the radio a little bit, right? And it felt like every song sounded like every other song. And and this is not a knock on, you know, the younger generation. I love the young guns. I think they have a lot to offer. But just this is more of a commentary on the industry. It doesn't reward and like cultivate originality, right? Because they're in the business space, right? So they're trying to hedge the risk. And instead of trying to break something that's new that may or may not work, they're trying to replicate what's already working and validate it, right? So what ends up happening is the marketplace gets saturated with a bunch of similar stuff. So now when a new artist comes up, they're not trying to say, yo, let me express my artistic and ideas and my philosophy and my experiences. They're just trying to sound like somebody else. And it's kind of them chasing the celebrity and the reward of being an artist as opposed to the actual art. And you know, the industry's kind of letting that happen. They're rewarding that. So everything sounds the same. So to me, it's like, yo, that's artificial, right? You're just copying somebody else. And to me, hip hop is so powerful because it's your story, right? When Garth Brooks sings a song or Britney Spears sings a song, somebody wrote that song. Justin Bieber sings a song, somebody wrote it. He's just performing it. He's the packaging and presentation of the art. Hip hop, and that's why, like, you know, ghostwriting and all that is kind of like frowned upon if you're considered like an MC. Like a Drake can do that because he's not a MC. He's an artist. He's a big time mainstream artist. But if somebody told you Nas had a ghostwriter, it's gonna completely change. Like, what you think of it.
It would, it would kill hip hop. Like that would kill, dude. You say somebody that came out right now.
Yeah,
hip hop's dead. Hip hop's really dead. But Nas, hip hop's dead.
Even one line, right?
Yeah, so, you know what I'm saying? I get it, man. But I do get the artistry too. And you do ghostwrite. So I know. So of course you can't say who you ghostwritten for, but have you ever ghostwritten for somebody that we may know? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta sign NDA. It depends on the artist and the deal that you're doing, but a lot of times you can't say anything. You know, you sign NDAs or whatever. But
contract.
Like I understand that part of it too. Like there's definitely artists that in music, sometimes it's not what's being said, it's who's saying it, right? So that's what sells, right? If you can write the perfect 16 and you say it, nobody cares. But if you give it to Drake, then all of a sudden it's a Grammy nominated or Grammy award winning song. And people need help in the creative process at certain points. Sometimes you write the whole song for them. Sometimes you give them a hook. Sometimes you just give them an outline and direction. So that's kind of the business side of it. But for me as an artist, like I pride myself on, like, my value to you is my experience. Right. It's the things that I've seen, and I'm older in rap. I'm like a dinosaur. Right. So the value proposition that I give to the listener is the benefit of my insight and my maturity as a person. And I can give you things and tools and lessons and jewels and rhymes that maybe you can use in your present day life. Right. So going back to your original question, artificial to me was like, I wanted to kind of go against it. I kind of leaned into it like it's artificial, but my art is official. Like I'm giving you me. I'm not trying to go see, oh, this is Little Nas X is popping right now. Let me make a song like him. And as a ghostwriter, yo, I get that request. Like when people hit me up, they're like, yo, I want a Drake record. I want a Jay-Z record. I want a Lil Uzi Vert record. That's how they describe the song. And it's cool. I'll give it to you. That's how you want to
get it. It's so disappointing. Fine. It's so disappointing because, like you said, they're chasing the bag, they're chasing whatever's popping, right? And I get it. There's a feel for that. And if that's what their spirit, they got to live with that at the end of the day. Plain and simple. You got to live with the choice you make at the end of the day. And that's you. And some MCs or hopefully artists like that eventually become. Well, here's my thing. I can't consider you an artist if you don't write, because if everything was given to you and you just perform, you're a performer. An artist does write. An artist does maybe produce sometimes. The artist might do a little of this, a little of that. But that's what an artist does. Experiments. An artist is creative. An artist does things, and I get it, man. You know what I'm saying? So. Let's get back. Let's get into the album. We gotta start off, man. I'm gonna give before I start, I want to give credit to the producers, of course.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna leave that up there for a little bit. But let's get into track one. Basically, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna say how I feel about it when I first listened to it, and then I want to see exactly how you hated that song when you was with MySpace, when you in with that, when you with these tracks, man, because this album is amazing. I'm pretty sure tomorrow's album is gonna be amazing, you know what I'm saying? So number one, so basically here we go. Abel Meri Art Official. It came out May 26, 2021, 42 minutes, 35 seconds. First joint, Landscape, Let's Go, Stop Playing, produced by Zig Zag Beats. This is a soulful track, giving Abel Meri room to exercise his amazing, incredible, and alien-like wordplay and lyrical landscape. And like, this is how I'm feeling on this track, man. So where were you in this? Where were you in this mind space, man? On the first joint.
First of all, shout out to Zig Zag. He's a super dope producer. And he usually does, like, the beats that I've done from him are usually like really boom bap. So he's kind of a throwback to like the Premier, like DJ Primo and all them, Pete Rock. When I heard this beat, it sounded, it had like almost like a Dre, like vintage Dr. Dre, like that energy. And intro tracks are really important. Like Nums and me were just talking about this the other day.
Shout out to Nums.
Like, shout out to Nums. Like, yo, that 40 album right now is the hottest thing smoking.
You know, I was gonna advertise that. That's at the, you know, I'm advertising that. The 40 album, stop playing.
So yeah, like we were talking about how like the intro track is so important because you know, right now people most times they discover you or they test drive you on these streaming platforms. So if they're listening to an album, the first song they're gonna hit is the intro track. So you really have to grab their attention, and it also artistically it kind of sets the tone for like the rest of the album. So this was like kind of when the weather was breaking and it was starting to become spring, and this just sounded like the environment that I was in. Like when I was looking around, I felt like it captured like just even the weather of the time. And you know, I didn't have anything pre-written to it. I just put it into a session, hit record, and then what came out came out.
So that's the thing, like your voice, and I've heard past things, and now I've heard, you know, you now, like I said, you're incredible. You improve you're improving like every 2 seconds. I know what's going on. You gotta have to check your back and see if you're a robot or something. Something's going on in there. You know what I mean? Like we want to know what you're reading. We want to know what your food regimen is. We want to know, who you dating. What's your circle? We want to meet your mother and father, because when we hear these lyrics, we're amazed. And your voice is an instrument, and the way it sounds like when you're rhyming, it sounds like somebody's rhyming with you, like a Styles and P's rhyming at the same time, but it's you.
Yeah, like, I've heard that before. That's actually
echo flow, but it's you.
Yeah. You said that there's people that have said that to me before, and now I'm starting to go back and try to hear that in my music.
Don't change it. It's
no. Yeah. Not to change it, but just to like kind of analyze it and break it down a little bit. Sometimes when you record so fast, like you don't really like. I don't know the words. Like I don't know the words to like my last 4 albums, right? So if I had to perform, I might have a hard time. I need a reference track playing in the background because I don't even have time to sit on the music. I just put it out and then I'm on to the next one. But the process is it's rewarding because I feel like I ascended to like this level of mastery now where I always wanted to be, where I could just never be constrained by how do I say my thoughts. Like I can just express them so fluidly. And then for it to be able to resonate and for people to actually emotionally connect with an album, I think it's so important because you can just put out songs that make people vibe and make them feel good in certain environments. But when they come back to you and they say, oh, that line right there, that was quotable, that was quotable, that was quotable. That's why people like me do music. It's to be able to connect on a human level with people.
And I'm glad you said that because I think one of my questions at the end, or I just got questions in my head when I wrote them down, so they come up anytime. Was like, people, respecting the quality of hip hop and lyrics, and having a what's more better for these artists is to have a quality of work. Your work should be, you should be able to go back to your work 20 years from now, and still be classical or classic or near classic, or just relevant. It should have messages. It should have, and instead of just watering down things to be with the times. And I'm pretty sure like each artist, if there's an artist watering down, there's an artist not watering down. They look back when they get I don't know, 60 years old, whenever they're gonna reflect in their life, pretty sure the one that had content and was, you know, fighting for the power or doing something, saying something about the world and trying to change the world, they're gonna feel more, you know, I guess accomplished or more like prideful, I guess, right? I mean, right? I would think so. Let's get back into the album, man. Yo, I'm put the producers right back up real quick. Number 2, Me Grow, produced by Track Pro. Track Pro did a lot of the tracks here. I just want to tell you real quick: 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, and 12. Track Pro is a beast. He's a genius on these beats. When I first saw Me Grow, it was a smooth groove, letting us grasp all the talent spilling out of Abel's mental deck. It seems like every bar relates to the previous, like a complicated puzzle that once you finish, you feel smarter. I feel smarter listening to Mr. Meri teach us grow. Yeah, man, I felt that. Like, I'm one of people be like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I can't quote lyrics. I love lyrics. I'm bad at it, so I'm not quoting your lyrics. I'd rather you quote them. But yeah, like I was saying, like it's saying, like yeah, when you're flowing, you got the bars on bars, and it's like you're a rewindable MC. There's not a lot of rewindable MCs out there. I mean, they're coming back. I ain't gonna lie. Now it's getting bananas. I don't know if you're hearing in all the news and stuff. Everyone is challenging each other, but fun on Twitter and Instagram. So and it's gonna be, you know, a good year, another good stretch, 6 months for hip hop this year. You know, what do you think? What do you think about all the guys coming out challenging each other for the number 1 spot this year? Even people coming out of retirement.
I think it's great for hip hop. You know, like battling it's like a foundational part of hip hop, right? So it's a genre that's overtly competitive, right? Like other genres, they'll compete with each other on the charts. You're not going to hear them, you know, name drop and say, yo, I'm better, I'm the best. And I think sometimes that's more of an East Coast thing, because that's kind of where like the roots of hip hop are. Like if you start traveling, you're not going to see that level of like overt competitiveness in other markets. But I think it's great for the consumers and the fans of hip hop and that type of hip hop. I don't think everybody is a fan of that, but I think there's enough of the hip hop consuming public that's what they live for. Like that's their favorite kind of part of the culture and the art form. So I think it's great. I think we're all going to benefit from people wanting to step up their bars and actually put time and effort into lyricism again.
No, I really see it. I mean, you know, I seen the K Slay 110, was it MC's bars, whatever it was called. There was a video to it. And it's like lyricists are coming out the woodwork. You got the old school coming out rapping on that, the new school. Everyone's together on that track. The beat's tough. And then you got, you know, RJ Payne and you know, Ransom and Words to 5'9". They're going back and forth. I can listen. When I was listening to that track from DJ K Slay, and it had the 100, I don't know if it was 110 MCs, whatever it was called, I can't remember. But I got it written down, but I just, you know, I'm just trying to flow. I was like, and it was like rappers from, you know, all types of, you know, lyrical rappers. And I'm thinking like, where are people like Abel Meri? Where are people like the good news is Ransom was on there, and like that was a big step for like the underground, I would say. Yeah. Because if you see somebody like a Ransom on a DJ K, and because I don't really consider DJ K Slay underground. Like people know who DJ K Slay is. When he puts out an album, if you're on it, you're somebody, right? I mean, you know, hip-hop. So, and he's supposed to be the guy that knows, you know, this. He got the ear to the street. Does he? He might not, but there's a lot of MCs that should have been on that now. You know, maybe when he does part 2 or whatever, you're on it. And people like, you know, Rome Streets and, you know, Shay Noah, people like that. And, you know, Numbs is on it. What do you think about things like that when all MCs get together like that?
I think it's great, man. I think it's it benefits the culture. It benefits the artists. It benefits the fans. Like all the stakeholders have something to gain in situations like that. I think like somebody like Ransom, he's any lyricist would tell you that he's like top tier, you know what I'm saying? And he's really in his prime. But I think he's selective of where he wants to be. You know what I mean? Like if he wanted to be commercial and mainstream, he has what it takes to do it. But he's like showing you that he's sticking to his artistic integrity, and he's like, I'm not going to move. I'm just going to wait till the culture comes to me. And you got to respect that as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Because
respect that.
All the opportunities that he's probably turning down to stay loyal to and true to who he is as an artist. And that's kind of like where I'm at as well. You know what I'm saying? Like JR is another one like that. You know what I'm saying? And he's part of Ransom's circle. And like those are guys that I really get a lot of inspiration from, because they are not captive in the moment and saying, oh, because we got the bars. We can literally do the songs like that. Anything that's popping on the radio, we can do that, and we can just easily, profit off of that. But that artistic integrity to stay true, to me, I respect that more than anything.
No, me too, and I'm glad that you're sticking with that too. You have the integrity, and I'm loving it, man. Hip hop's loving it. We loving it. Number 3, man. All I Need, produced by Track Pros. Abel's ability to wrap around these beautiful sounds by Track Pros. A university will be breaking down these songs easily now. Because there's universities now that study hip hop, and I'm pretty sure your catalog, and if it's not there, it's going to be there. They should be breaking down some of these lyrics and bars and learning from them, because you can actually learn from your bars. Speaking of your bars, who are your top? I guess I don't like to do the list, but I do list anyway, because I got, I'm like, I kind of media a little bit. But do you have a top 5 or top 10 or somebody that you currently listen to that, like you said earlier, you said a couple other artists currently influence you, and are they making you better? Are they make you more hungry? Are they make you more lyrical when you listen to these artists?
So like my all-time top 5 is Jay, Nas, Pac, Big, and I mean the 5th spot kind of swaps out, but it's still somebody from that era. It'll be like a Big Pun could easily slide in that spot. Just people from like the mid to late 90s. That's kind of like,
it could be like a Big L or somebody like that. Somebody that just stood out and had lyrical content. It could be Ghostface, Inspector Deck or something like that. But
all those guys. There's and I've spent like hours and hours listening and studying these guys' rhyme schemes and their flow, their cadence. When I'm in recording mode, which is pretty much the whole year this year, I try to stay in a vacuum and not listen to things, right? So there'll be albums of artists that I love. Like I love Cole. Like J. Cole dropped the album. I haven't heard a single song on that album because I don't want his influence to subconsciously come into my music, right? So I'm gonna hear something. And I'm going to say something that's influenced by what I heard from him, right? So in the moment, like I try to just be in a vacuum and not listen to anything. But like I have a lot of respect for a lot of artists in the game right now. And they're not necessarily the ones that may be on the radio or mainstream. But if you really want to find great art, like this is a great time to be a fan and consumer of hip hop, because there's something for everybody. You just have to look for it and find it.
No, there is. And in this platform, you can whenever you're thinking about an artist, I don't care if it's artists from that's janitor artists or Jay-Z artists, name that person, give them the props, give her the props. At the end you can promote as well, because you can save it if you want to the end. But if you're thinking about an artist, spit that artist out, man. Stop playing, man. Be trying to promote everybody, anybody. Give anybody a shine and stuff like that, no? Speaking of shining, man, and out of this world, number 4, Pluto, right? J. Mark Beats. Listen, man, title of the track describes this track and how out of space Abel's lyrics are. His voice is an instrument. The way he paints portraits on the tracks, it's just the way, like I said earlier, your voice is an instrument. It just seems like the tracks on the wall, and you're just like throwing lyrics on the wall, but it's like they're sticking and they're just looking. It's beautiful. It's like, wow, he just said that. He just built this house. He just did that new house just like that. So
I think you just did a verse right there. That was a pretty dope verse. Them last 4 bars, I might gotta take them.
I'm on the next track. I'm on the next album. What's up? So behind that Pluto, what you trying to like what? You trying to get out there? What was going on? You trying to get the space? What happened?
Yeah, it was a modern sound. Like so, like every album, I try to take like a beat that people wouldn't expect me to take, and I try to like challenge myself to write to it and to enhance it. So, you know, my biggest the thing that I look for the most as far as feedback is from the producer, because the producer is going to be honest with you. They're not going to tell you they like it if they don't like it, and they have the most investment in a track, right? Because it's their piece of art. So as an artist, your job is to enhance the track and make it better. You know, they give you a blank canvas, and what this was an opportunity for me to like kind of have a modern sound and interpret my style on that modern sound, you know, like, so I can do boom bap in my sleep, you know, that's what I do all day. But artistically, I want to challenge myself. I want to create different sounds. I want to rhyme with different rhyme schemes and different cadences, different patterns. So what I was trying to do on this one was kind of find a pocket and be able to deliver the A1 top tier lyrics to a song that would be, to an instrumental that would be more radio friendly and considered to be like a modern sounding record.
See, I'm loving that, man. Dude, I'm loving that, man. Oh, one of my questions is, do you read a lot? Do you read a lot of books? And and can you give us a couple that you maybe you're reading now? Like, where do you get a lot of your intellect? Are you just researching? Like, where do you get all that? Like, when you're rhyming, you know, you know about like 1920s, and you know, now and then you know about like Flintstones, or you know about like which the Transformer Jetfire. Like, I'm like, how the hell you know Jet? Like, it's just the stuff that you know about is like amazing. Like, where you getting your content from? Where you getting your information from? What are you reading, man? What's going on?
Yo, I honestly, I can't say I actually read a lot, but I consume a lot of information. Let's put it like that. I consume a lot of information from a lot of different sources. And, you know, again, remember what I was saying, like artistically, like who you are as a person is what you have to offer. Like, so usually in hip hop, especially because there's a journalistic ethic and integrity to hip hop, you're presenting a story that's yours, right? And this ties back into why ghostwriting is frowned upon, because that's somebody else taking the exam for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you just wanted the diploma, you didn't want the information that you needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just wanted to get the RN title. You didn't want to know what it takes to be an RN. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to operate.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna be steady. Yeah, you're gonna be like YouTubing and WebMDing your patients, right? That's the part we don't respect. So for me, I think that my value proposition as an artist is all of the different experiences, the places that I've lived. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've created 2 startups from the ground up, right? So how many rappers do you know that can talk that tech talk, that can go into a boardroom with like a Bezos or Elon Musk and like not lose a step to them? You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm bringing that to the music as well, right? And I'm bringing all of these different, I consume a lot of news, right? So I'm very big on politics. That's where kind of like my social awareness comes in, and like historic things. Like I'm a big history buff, so like all of these different, and then pop culture too. Like, you know, I'm a Seinfeld historian, and I'm a Wu-Tang fan, right? So I love Seinfeld.
I love Seinfeld. Listen, I love Seinfeld. I love Wu-Tang. That's funny too, because it's funny. I still watch Seinfeld, and a lot of people like, you still watch it? I'm like, no, but you know, because the dude did the, you know, what's that, Kramer? I'm like, no, I don't watch that. I don't watch that no more. I'm like, Seinfeld. Yeah. I know what time it. But yeah, I get it, man. You know.
So I think my like probably my biggest advantage is the ability to absorb and synthesize a lot of information quickly. You know what I'm saying? Just as a personal characteristic, and then like artistically able to wrap the words around that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be able to present it in an entertaining and like I guess a thoughtful way. You know what I'm saying? That's where like the lyricism and like the being able to paint with words kind of comes from. It's like a combination of all that.
No, it's beautiful, man. Number 5, In Living Color. Speaking of color on the wall and art, man, Living Color. Loving it, man. Loving like the, you know, double entendres, you know, the In Living Color. And I love the show In Living Color. This is produced by Track Pros as well. Wonder if he names the songs prior to the you know, meaning. I mean, prior to him, like you know, doing the lyrics, I said I need to know his process putting together these amazing projects. Wordplay is top notch. So you know, this is what, like, one of my things I would like, even if he wasn't here, I'd be thinking that and wondering how, like, you know, you process, but you already pretty much said that you kind of listen to the beats. Now, is it like, if somebody give you 7 tracks, do you just rap those 7 tracks, or do you mix up the 7 tracks and then put out the album?
Well, I used to do it where, like, I would just do it the way you said it, but now I kind of, like, I sift through the different beats, and like I pick specific ones because now I kind of know what I want an album to sound like sonically. Like, I don't know the words, I don't necessarily know subject matter, but I know how it wants it to sound. So when I'm picking the beats out, I used to do it as I was going along. So I would pick a beat, then I would do the song, pick a beat, do the song. Now I actually try to create a cohesive sonic kind of feel for the album, and then I'll go do the songs, which makes it a lot easier. I can just line them up and knock them out. As far as naming the songs, I when I'm recording it, it doesn't have a name. I just call it Project 1, Project 2. And then once I've like mixed, mastered the song, and then I kind of say, all right, this is what this should be called. This is the right title for the song.
So you listen to it again, and that's what I like. I always wondered, and I always figured it's no best way, I guess, right? You're an artist, you do it the way you want and the way it works. But I always thought if you sat with the record and then you maybe listen to it a while. I did an interview with for a friend of mine recently, and because he's starting to, you know, get out there, and you know, he's an okay rapper, but I'm trying to get him the confidence and get him some content to get out there. And I was telling him, you know, behind the scenes, like how you just gotta practice, man, and then, you know, people like myself and people, you know, you need people to encourage you, even if you know it's you know, it's not as good as the artist that you admire. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta practice. You gotta stick around those people that have that mentality that's gonna you know, uplift you, and not just like, you know. So your circle of friends and family. Are you one of them people that, if, like, say your best friend is poisoning your circle, do you not talk to him? You cut him out? What do you do? Because a circle of friends and family is important to your mental and your health.
Yeah, like, well, if it's somebody that's close to me, like I don't look at anybody as expendable. You know what I mean? Like I would try to do what I can, like what's in my power, within my resources, to try to help them, or maybe point out something to them that they may not be aware of or conscious of. But then at the same time, I realize I have limited amount of influence that I can actually have on anybody, right? I can only really control myself. True. So I think one of the things I've learned as I've matured is you can only do so much. Like, your control in life is very limited. You have very little control over yourself, let alone other people. So the only thing you're responsible for is the effort, not the outcome, right? So as long as I do the right thing, I'm cool with whatever happens after that. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody's toxic, you know, I would try to actually help them first. I'll try to point it out to them and be like, you know, maybe you need to look at this. It's maybe something you didn't consider, or you didn't see it from this perspective. But at a certain point, if they're not willing to make the change, then I have to kind of love them from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I would have to insulate myself from, you know, whatever the negativity that person is projecting.
And I respect that answer, man. I kind of think the same way, man. And you know, just to lead to the next song, but that answer was epic. So number 6, epic.
Transition. You a rapper, man. I'm telling you, you dropping bars over here, man.
Track pros, man. So this joint right here, number 6, loving it, man. We're halfway through the album. Track Pros sounds is epic. I'm loving it. So I just want to shout out Track Pros again. This is a different MC, and I said we need to study his brain patterns and his health regimen. So speaking of health regimens, what do you eat? What do you eat? Are you a vegetarian? What's going on in there, man? What are you doing, man? What are you feeding the brain?
Not a vegetarian. I try to eat, like, so I used to be overweight, right? So I lost 111 pounds at one point, right?
Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
For healthy. It's not even the weight. You could be healthy big too, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So so and I've been able to keep it off for 10 years now, right? So I just try to eat healthy. I don't necessarily have like a specific, like I'm not vegan or vegetarian. I'm just conscious of what I eat and put into my body, and I try to get like a moderate amount of exercise, weight training, cardio, just to stay in shape. I go through phases where like I really want to get into shape and I can like really step it up, and I'll do like keto or whatever for for a short period of time. But other than that, just try to stay away from fast food and eat a lot of vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Fruits and vegetables.
What about what everybody's thinking? Forget that, not to forget your body health, but what about that mental health? What are you doing? You do puzzles? You do, I don't know. What are you doing to get your mind to memorize all these rhymes, to be so, I guess, lyrical in a sense, and so thought provoking at the same time with these rhyme patterns and stuff like that?
That's my wife has put me onto meditation recently, and I think that definitely helps. Kind of, when you have a lot of things in your mind and your brain is running at 100% the whole time, your performance level is not 100%. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It's like inversely related. If you're going at 100%, you can't be 100%. So I've learned to throttle like kind of like these limits on my brain at certain points, and like pacing myself is something that I've actually started to do recently. I think that that's created more clarity, and also like it's optimal. Like my operation and my level of performance is optimized when I'm able to balance like going 100 miles an hour versus being able to like calm down and just like settle down and observe like my environment and take a moment to just recalibrate and catch my breath.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you dropping jewels, man. This dude, I'm loving this. Number 7, Turn It Up. We about to turn it up. Track Pros, another light, smooth beat that reflects and elevates Abel Meri's out of the world flow. Listen, when I'm doing these reviews with MCs like yourself of your caliber, you know what I mean? Thought provoking, lyrical, just incredible. I start running out of words. Do you ever run out of words? Do you got a thesaurus near you, or are you the thesaurus and they getting their words from you? Like, what's going on?
Nah, yo, look, to be honest with you, I've never understood writer's block. Like it's just a foreign concept to me. Like my problem is I don't have enough time to say everything I want to say. Like there's not enough hours in the day for me to actually record everything I want to say and capture it. You know what I'm saying? All these thoughts that I have and different ways of presenting them. And vocabulary is always something that I've excelled at, even as a kid. Like because I watch so many different things, I have so many different interests, you just pick up so much language. And English isn't even my first language, right? So for me, I had to like, retrain my brain when I was younger to be able to like kind of shift. And now English is like my dominant language, but words and ideas and stuff like that, like to me, I've never had a shortage of it. So yeah, no thesaurus, no nothing. These are just thoughts and ideas that I have, and then just put them to music.
So it's a natural occurrence that for your flow. So have you ever battle rapped? Like in like people battle rap and stuff like that in arenas and stuff, go back and forth. I don't like this close spitting up battling, but I know. Have you ever done that? Like, dude, get out my face, though. But have you ever done that?
Yo, it's been years. Yeah, really, really early on. This is like when I first started rapping, and it was just like nothing like URL, like where it's actual like an organized battle, but just like ciphers with other rappers and MCs back in the 90s, you kind of had to do that because we didn't have access to studio. So that's where you kind of like, it's just like the equivalent of playing pickup ball, right? Everybody's not going to the NBA, but everybody played a pickup game at some point. So that's kind of the proving ground. So you got to play the pickup game, and then the recruiter and the scout comes and says, yo, come here, we want you on the team, right? So that's like the next level. Like everybody's in the cipher, and then, you know, some people that are good enough, they get to, you know, elevate to the next level. So it's been forever since I battled. Battling right now, the way it is, I think it's one of the most entertaining parts for me as a lyricist. Like I'm so inspired by and amazed by the level of wordplay and wizardry that battle rappers do. Like Conceited to me is like one of my favorite battle rappers. I've never heard anything like I watch his stuff over and over again. But it's a different vein. Like
it is. They're amazing in their own realm. It's like they're in their own realm. It's like you got different realms that you walk into, like, you know, like some superhero movie or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's beautiful and stuff like that. Let's get to the next track. Paintbrush, track pros. Light jazz piano driven track gives Abel permission to paint his canvas, man. I don't think Abel Meri curses. Do you curse? Or have you used to curse and you don't curse now, or what?
Yeah, I don't curse in my music now. Well, when I was younger, like you could find some stuff on Bandcamp. Probably not SoundCloud, but definitely on Bandcamp you can find like some old you're gonna hear some profanity. But I made a conscious decision when I came back to music in 2020. I made a conscious decision that I wanted my music to be kid friendly and pastor friendly. Right. So you could play it anywhere. Right. There's no. That's what I wanted to create music that, you know, I could play from my pastor. Like I want him to be able to listen to it and not, you know, cringe. Oh, OK, just turn the volume down on this part. And there's so many words in the English language. Like there's no need for profanity. You know what I'm saying? Like unless.
Oh, my God, this dude. The way you think, man, is I'm telling you. I think that's you know, just an amazing statement in its own, man. It's just so many words in the vocabulary. Why do you have to swear? It might come from, you know, your circle of friends or the people you're around. Definitely, but you should be able to change that yourself, and then hopefully change your circle, because a lot of people don't know that you're a reflection of your circle as well. Like whoever you're around, if you change for the better, eventually your people will change for the better, or they're at least going to take on some of the great characteristics that you have. And I really believe in that, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to number 9, all back. Syn Beats. Let me put these back up, because like Track Pro was doing all the beats for a while, so I want to give some credit to Syn Beats. Syn Beats is dope. I hear music. What's that? I'm sorry.
I said shout out to Syn. He's super dope.
Shout out to Syn.
He always laces me, man.
Hell yeah. Where's he from?
He's from Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, that's what's up. Shout out.
And he plays his instruments and everything. He's like a real producer, right? Like so, like all the piano riffs and the guitar and all that stuff that you hear in his music is all him.
I'm gonna have to get him on here. Listen, I be having producers on here too. I break down it, even if it's just their music, instruments. I break down the instruments. I listen to a whole instrumental album and break it down. But when I heard all back Syn Beats, I hear music of Mexico while Abel travels through and puts his Latin influence flow on the horn. Sounds like a fun track. It's a fun track. I like this track. Where were you at with this track here?
This was one of the last ones that I did. And again, like I like to challenge myself, right? So I always go through Syn's catalog like every time I'm about to do an album, because he's always given something that I would not think of. Like he's very creative in the way that he's able to interpret and even reinterpret and remake music. So I went through his like all of the latest ones that he had, and this one just kind of stood out to me because it was something that I thought that would not be necessarily people would expect from me, but I felt like I wanted to show my range, and I thought that I could do something that was fun, entertaining, and creative at the same time. And I was very playful, like my cadence and the la 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 like that part of it.
That's what I love it. This record. I'm dancing with it, like
yo, I'm bald, but I let my hair down on that one. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to make something. Yeah. So I wanted to make something you could like bump in the summertime with the windows down and just enjoy it, and like kids can sing along. Some of my friends that have kids, they play my music to them, and the things that they gravitate gravitate to are kind of the ones that are kind of like playful as well. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really saying some real stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Mr. Window. Like, we get arrested. They see development. We get arrested, Mr. Window. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying real things. But
that's what I'm saying. Like the stuff that you're quoting and the things that you're bringing up is like, where's he getting all this information from? Where's this dude? He's and that's what I love about hip hop, and I love about people that study. You can tell people study hip hop, and I respect the artist more because the things that you say are relevant to just the culture itself, the whole culture, not just like hip hop, the culture of Black people, the culture of America, the world, the universe. There's a little bit of everything in your rhymes. And you know, I probably hear, like, say we heard a story from, you know, France or something from last week. That's in your rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's relevant, you know what I mean? If you want to put it in. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like. Let's get to number 10. Oh man, Artificial. You know, it's called Artificial. So I know, was this the first song you did?
No, I think it was like the third to last one that I did.
Okay. This was produced by Syn Beats. Back again, you know what I'm saying? Syn, loving this track, and the melodies take me away like cow gone soap. You know about that. Abel Meri makes you want to read more books and studies and just study the earth. You know what I'm saying? The universe. The way he flips lyrics, it's insane. I said Mars, hashtag Mars mental. Like you're just out of this world. So you took me away like the Calgon soap commercial. I don't know if you remember that. You probably do. But yo, what's this? This is the signature track too. So like, usually when it's the name of the album, the track, the title track, do you go harder usually, or you say, oh, this one I'm gonna name this the title track because this is one of my favorites. Is this one of your favorites?
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites. Man, I'm trying to go hard all the time. I got that Russell Westbrook engine, you know what I'm saying? I'm never taking a day off. Foot stay on the gas.
You're going harder. Let me say that.
Yeah. So, yo, this is an interesting story. This album, this specific beat, right? I record so fast that I actually, by accident, I recorded 2 completely different songs on this beat. And I didn't even realize it until I played it back. And I was playing. I was like, "Oh, I just used this beat on another song." And then it was 2 days apart. So I did one on Wednesday, and I did the second one on Friday. Because the beat, when I get the beats, I don't name. This is something that I've learned. I have to name the beats.
Wait. So which one did you use though? Which one did you use, or did you got a remix? What you doing?
Nah, this is what it was. This is what it was. So both of them came out so good. I put the other version on the album that's coming out tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I still used it. I couldn't throw it away. There was so much. There was so, like, I went ham on that joint, and I was like, nah, I can't throw it away. So,
so you're gonna hear that tomorrow. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the other one's called, what was the title of that one? The other one was called, man, I gotta look it up.
Yeah, you're cooking up like 24/7, like, you know, right now. You probably did an album while you're talking to me, goddammit. I know you probably did. Let's go to number 11. Way Too Fly, man. Track pros, man. Sounds like SWV is about to start singing on this R&B 90s vibe, giving Abel Meri smooth and melodic rhymes more praise. His optimistic bar content is impressive, quotable, and rewindable, man. You're an impressive guy. What's going on with this record? I'm loving it. Way Too Fly. You're way too fly. What's going on with this record?
Yo, this is actually one of my favorite ones on the album as well.
Me too.
I wanted a grown sound. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, so I feel like, all right, so me and Nums have this conversation all the time. Like, we're the first generation that grew up in hip hop that are raising kids, right? So like other generations of music, they're like 6-7 generations deep, right? Like jazz was going on 200 years, 100 years ago, 150 years ago. So they've lived through multiple generations. It's been handed down. But hip hop, because it started with kids and young people, we've stayed there. Like, we haven't evolved. Like, so
you're right.
People that started listening to hip hop, like the OGs, like the super OGs, right? The Grandmaster Flash and the Curtis Blows, they're in their 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and then the OGs, Jay-Z and them, are in their 50s.
Yeah, because rap is what? Gonna be 48 this year, I believe.
Yeah, right. It's such an early genre, a young genre of music. In its life cycle, we haven't seen like the people ascend, right? So to me, like, as an artist, right now at 40, I can offer you things that I could never offer you when I was 20 years old, right?
Exactly.
I live for the weekend. I rapped about the weekend, right? That's where like all this stuff comes from. Like if you listen to the radio, they rapping about the club lifestyle because that's what they live for. But now as an artist, not only have I grown and evolved and matured as a person, like my artistry is at an all-time high. So think of getting the 41-year-old Kobe up here with the 2020 Kobe body. You know what I'm saying? And if he had the insight of the 41-year-old Kobe and he could go back to 2010.
It'd be right? Like 20 championships in a row. If that
exactly,
and whatever that mentality was and that body was for anything, you could be a gymnast with that or whatever it was, rapper, like you said, it'd be amazing. Everyone always says that. What if I knew what I knew before, whatever, as a young age. It'd be incredible, unstoppable.
Yeah. So that's what I was trying to give the people of our generation. I was trying to give them like the equivalent of what would be a club record, right? To have the vibes and the sound and the feel and the essence of the 90s, the nostalgia of it,
yeah.
But a modern flow, modern cadence, and then just, A1 bars on top of that.
Dude, you're giving A1 bars, everything, man. Do you produce?
Nah, I don't produce, but I got into like because I mix and master my own songs now.
Okay.
So I've actually started doing that for other people now. If I do offer like mixing and mastering services for like independent artists.
I'm loving that, man. Like I said, I got a show called Passive Podcast. It's actually coming on tonight too. It's every Sunday at 6 p.m. And I got a couple guys, we just talk about getting passive income, trying to get money besides a 9 to 5. And we talk about every subject, of course. A lot of subject could be the pandemic. Like tonight's going to be talking about the pandemic summer 2, part 2, right? But what I'm getting to is like just like the information that you're providing in your music is valuable to not just the people that listen to it. It's gonna be valued for years to come, and like it's gonna be like like they're about to do that hip hop museum. I know you're gonna be in that museum, man. I'm predicting it.
Oh man, appreciate it.
In New York, your quality and your catalog already surpasses some of the greats. And I'm not even gonna try to name some of the people, discredit them. I'm all about positivity. I'm an optimistic, person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I love, just talking about good music, great people, and if you have a bad record, you had a bad record. I might not review it, but guess what? The next month if it's dope, I'm reviewing it. I'm back on your tip. You know what I'm saying? But I love great music, and and this is I love what I do. And number 12, Soul Lit, Track Pro's last record. I got some questions for you if you can stay around a little bit. Can you?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay,
Gucci, man.
I know it was an hour, but I'm like, the information you're giving me so good. We're just flowing, right?
Yeah.
Soul Lit, Track Pro, Soul Lit joint reminded me of my mother's parties with clever and top 10 lyrics that are more impressive than the invention of the wheel, man. So this is like, this is where my mind goes when I listen to music, man. I'm telling you, it's certain songs just bring something out, and people go, what's wrong with you? I go, that's just me. Yeah. But anyway, I try to keep it entertaining at the same time. But it's just like, back in the days, the parties, the soulful parties, they had the records, the 45s, whatever it was. And you clean to, Marvin Gaye, you clean to Stevie Wonder, or you got your mother's party. You're supposed to be in the bed sleep. And your mother's in there jamming, smoking cigarettes and a little bit of weed, right? With her friends, with the big record player that's like taking over the whole living room, right? And it just reminded me of that type of vibe and stuff like that. Where were you going with Soul Lit?
This was a total stream of consciousness kind of song. The beat and the sample, like the vocal sample that's playing in the track was it felt like something that was gonna elicit like wisdom. Like I wanted to that's the vibe that I got from it. So that's kind of like where I went with it, is just kind of like these random thoughts of wisdom, insight, perspective, and I just tried to frame it in a way where it was kind of riding along the landscape of the beat, and like there's like, if you actually listen to the words on this one, there's like so much in there, but it's not overwhelming. Like a lot of times when you have like lyrical rappers, they don't let the track breathe. You know what I'm saying? They're punching in so much stuff. between the drums that it doesn't allow the listener to actually get into the groove. So you actually defeat the purpose. You're trying to give them so much, but you end up kind of discouraging them from it's not an inviting track for them to listen to. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to glue it together to where it gave you a lot, but it allowed you to be able to relax when you listen to it as well.
Okay, I get that, and that's why I think that's where I got, I got that. I was feeling that vibe as well. So thanks for and that was just the breakdown of the album. I wish I can do this every day with you. Like every time you put out an album, Bobby, you could hopefully we have the time. I know you're gonna be a busy man. I do got a couple of questions for you. No features on this one. Was that just is that something? Was there a reason, or you're just trying to build your catalog with like as a solo artist? What do you?
No, actually, this is the gift and the curse of recording so fast. Like my pace is hard to be able to get features in timeline. Because I'll be done with the record. Yo, like it takes long for them to for like the people that I really want to. By the time I reach out to them, I give them the song, give them my reference, and they get back to me. Like I've already packaged and released the album, so I have features that are coming in, but they're just not coming back in time for me to put them on the projects that I want to. So like when they come in, I'll put them in. But this time I didn't have any I didn't have any candidates, so I just put it out myself.
Just to go back on we were talking about I just want to because people are like, oh, you didn't say the actual song, but it was DJ K Slay. Here it's called Rolling 110 Deeps song, and it's a video too, and it's just a lot of rappers spitting. I just wanted to say that it's got nothing to do with a question. I just want to get that off, so because I just remembered. I was like, I wrote it down somewhere, but anyway. What's your do you have any pet peeves? Any pet peeves do you have?
That's a good question. Pet peeves?
A lot of everybody has pet peeves.
Okay. I don't like people. I don't like sharing my drinks with people. Like I'll give you anything. Like you need a kidney, all good. But don't touch my Coke Zero. Don't touch my drink.
That's crazy. I'll give you the inside of my.
Yeah, like just leave the drink alone. No,
don't touch my drink.
Yeah.
It's funny because I asked her because that's not my. Well, actually, that's one of my pet peeves. I had an ex-girlfriend a long time ago. Hopefully, my girl's not gonna get mad at me for telling stories. But anyway, ex-girlfriend I'm just you cook for somebody, it's romantic. They got their food, you got their food, and it was good. It was whatever it was. I think it was ribs, whatever it was. This is when I used to eat meat, and I'm ready, how you ready to suck on a bone or get the last meat on the bone or whatever, the rib or something. Yeah. And she reached over, took my bones and started look at him eating the rest of the meat. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing, yo? I was so pissed. I was at home, I was at my house at the time. I kicked her out, man, but I was young, dumb.
Oh, wow.
But I was so mad that she reached over and took my food. It was
it'd be the littlest things that get you, man.
It's a pet peeve.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Thanks. So can you like I said, I have the Passive Podcast coming on tonight. Can you recommend any money tips, any money saving tips, anything that can help your fans and people that follow you? What are you doing in business? Can you help out on the money tip? What kind of advice do you have?
Yeah, so I'm business wise. So now I'm actually starting to monetize the music, right? So when I went out to Cali, I was able to link up with David J. Shout out to David. He's a super dope Grammy nominated songwriter, producer, and he's a full-time artist in LA doing really, really well, doing big things. So he gave me a lot of game on, once you start creating the art, that's cool. But then it's how do you monetize it? And there were information gaps that were missing. You know what I'm saying? I had part of the game, but I didn't have the whole, all the pieces together, right? So he kind of gave me the tools and the things that I was missing to be able to turn this product that I'm creating and putting out and really starting to monetize it in different ways. So that aside, I have a tech startup right now that we're in the process of actually bringing on investors to really scale it out. So if you really want to make a lot of money today, if you want to get into that 1% tax bracket, that the two ways to do it is tech and real estate. Those are the fastest routes to be able to get into like the Billionaire Boys Club. So anything that's tech based, as Black people and as minorities in general, we tend to be consumers of technology and we're not creators of technology, right?
Exactly.
So the same iPhone that's in your pocket that you're using to like stalk somebody, you could create anything. You could create an album, you could create an application, a website,
a movie.
Anything that you, exactly. You can shoot music videos, you can turn into a videographer.
Dude, that's how I started, man. I started on my Samsung, though. You know, people like go crazy. I love Samsung. I don't care what nobody says. Sticking it to it until, you know, they perfect it. But anyway, I got an iPhone for work. But anyway, boo. But anyway, man, like, I love the advice, man, because like, you know, what I usually do is similar too. I give them advice, like they, you know, if they got that iPhone, they got the Jordans. Like, do you have Jordan stock? Exactly. Do you have iPhone stock? Are they giving you dividends back? Like, you know, what do you do? Like, what are you doing? What are you investing in? What's going on? You're just buying. We're just consumers. We're buying. And like you said, we were never behind technology. Yeah. I tell my nephew all the time. He used to love playing video games. I said, no. Learn C++ or whatever else you got to learn. Yeah. And learn these video games. Learn how to make them, create them, and then you can play them all day. You know what I'm saying? But when you create one, that money is coming in, man. And you can sit back and then, you know, drink your, you know, martinis and sip on something at the beach after you know, everyone's playing your game.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. And then the other thing is the real estate side of it. So me and my sister started doing real estate as investment. So we're like landlords. So we got a building in DC, like a multi-unit building that we rent out and make a profit on. I mean, it's skyrocketed in value in the last 3 years that we've owned it. We got another one in Regimen. We're looking to buy a couple more properties. And that's like, I'll give you a real quick story. Like the Donald Sterling from the Clippers, you know, the former owner that, you know, they forced him out, and, you know, Steve Ballmer. And I actually had a line on Epic where I was like, make a clip and sell the clips to Donald Sterling. And that's what I was referencing. Like, this dude bought the Clippers for $12 million. He put down $5 million. He borrowed $7 million. Right? He created a clip, or his ex-girlfriend or whatever created a clip where he was saying some racist stuff, and he sold the team for $2 billion. Make a clip and sell the clips, Donald Sterling. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. So that's where the money is. The money is in the real estate. Yeah, man. So that's where we need to be. We need to be looking at real estate as a tool for building wealth, as investment, as opposed to a nice house that I want to live in and shoot an MTV Cribs episode in. If you have a couple of properties that you're renting out, you could actually live in that MTV Cribs. But don't try to buy the crib for the MTV Cribs episode before you have tenants in your rental property.
I just got into real estate too, and it's funny because you said your sister. I was supposed to get into real estate. Long story, I'm not gonna get into it, but I was supposed to get into real estate with my sister too. It just didn't happen, so it prolonged me from actually attaining real estate. So I started doing it on my own this year. Got my first property, 3-family, and I'm gonna move on within 6 months to years too. So I'm chasing that property, that real estate bag. I'm teaching people about property, real estate bag. I have another, you know, YouTube channel I just started called The Optimistic Landlord. So, I'm trying to, then, I tell stories or I try to be optimistic, even though like it's hard. It's hard being a landlord too at the same time, but
but guess what? It's hard being a bus driver too.
It's hard being a bus driver too. That's what I'm saying.
Whatever you at, it's going to be hard.
I'm not making excuses. I want people to, I want to, at first I don't want to lie. So I'm going to say, it's hard being, but guess what? You can do it. I can do it. Anyone can do it. I encourage you to buy a home. I encourage you to buy more property. Like you said, everyone's chasing that. They want that big building that got 20,000 units in it, and they can just retire, right? They want that big building. So I'm chasing that big building too. I just started. It's a little rocky, but guess what? It's the days what you make it. I love my tenants. Are they annoying sometimes? Yes, but guess what? I'm gonna work with them, hang out with them. Yeah. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna communicate, and then I'm gonna get more and more properties, and hopefully my team and my circle around me can do the same thing. And you know what I'm saying? And
salute, man. That's dope that you putting that stuff out there, man. We need more content like that.
You got to. The BET Awards are tonight, man. Do you watch the BET Awards? And I would love to see you in that BET Cypher, man. How do you get in it? Do you have to request it? Get in that cipher, man? What's up? How do you do that?
So a lot of those things are done through publicists, right? So this is like if you're an artist and you're trying to get onto major platforms, be it radio, be it publications, like the gatekeeper and the actual concierge service that gets you on is a good publicist. To be honest with you, I haven't watched the BET Awards in a long time. I'll probably say maybe 3 or 4 years. But again, it's just kind of like me trying to stay in my vacuum and trying to not be influenced by like sounds and artists. I like, to be honest, I know way more hip hop history than I know about what's going on right now. Gift and a curse, like, I can't trend the same way as somebody who's tapped into like the pulse of what's going on right now. But I feel like I create timeless art that way because I'm not trying to chase something that's in the moment that's gonna have a short shelf life, and like 2 months later you'd be like, what was that? Is that even good? So I try to create something that they can go back 10 years later and they're like, yo, this is just as good as it was the first time I heard it.
Shout out to you had I'm gonna say shout out to the video. I was when I was doing my research, right? Just shout out to your game, just shout out to your mind frame anyway, the way you think and the way you broadcast yourself as a gentleman and a scholar, man. I'm just like, I'm like, oh snap, this guy is amazing me every time he speaks, right? So in your video, I saw a video of you. I know hopefully you do videos of at least 1 or 2 on each album. I don't know if that's what you're gonna do, but you can answer that too. But my question is, think about it, right? The music video I seen,
it
had a lot of like weed influence in the background. Do you partake? Just wondering.
Oh nah, that was actually not weed. It was a hookah lounge that my man owns. It was a friend of mine that it was his spot, right? So it was a shout out to him. He let us shoot the video there, and the thing that was in the background was it was like a hedge, like a hedge, and the color grade and the lighting may have made it look like weed, but it wasn't weed at all. I don't smell.
Oh, like yo, I'm like, how does he remember all this stuff? He smoked weed too?
Nah, yeah. That's what makes me another anomaly about me. Is I don't smoke weed and I don't drink, right? So that's what makes it harder for me, like, to collaborate with artists in the studio, is because you can't go to a rap studio session and not smell weed, you know what I'm saying, and catch a secondhand high off of contact, or the alcohol is always there. Like it's being consumed by the artists, it's being consumed by the people that are there. So for me, all that stuff slows me down.
It does,
So I need to stay focused. I think some people think it helps them, and maybe it helps them get their creative juices flowing, but I don't need that as a, kind of like as a muse. So so just FYI, no weed and no drugs and no alcohol.
That's what's me. Up. Let's do let me do a public announcement for the kids.
Yeah, to each his own. Like, I'm not judging. My friends do it, but it's just not. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah. No, that's what's up, and I appreciate the honesty, man. This time of the show, man, I'm going to promote abelmeri.com. Everybody go to abelmeri.com. The Great Minds Podcast, go check them out. This is where I learned about this star right here. Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast as well. They have a great interview with the star right here, Abel Meri. This is the star. You know what I'm saying? We promoting. I want to promote, of course, Nini's Apparel. That's my girlfriend's clothing line. I want to promote my friend's wife's jewelry line on Etsy. And I want to promote Mike Powers Global on YouTube. He's the intro king. Go check him out. Another friend of the business, man. I like to promote people I can. That's what I do. And this is the segment that you promote. And I want you to say some kind words, say something positive. Give us some, your future projects. What's going on? What are we expecting from you? Videos, whatever, your social media. And then, of course, I'm going to gather all that information and put it in the description as well.
All right, cool, man. Website, abelmeri.com, abelmeri.com. At Abel Meri everywhere. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Wordsmith it's actually available for download in my store right now. If you buy it from me, you actually get a bonus track that's not available on streaming. And you also get all of the lyrics to the song as a download as well. And then this week I'm dropping my first guide. So it's called the Indie Artist Cheat Code. and it's going to teach any kind of aspiring independent artist how to record music from anywhere for free, how to source licensable music and beats that they can use and get money from, selling and monetizing, how to get assistance with writing lyrics and mixing, mastering, and then also breaking down the economics of streaming and how much money you can expect to make per stream, and then how to monetize your art through merchandise and stuff that you can manufacture and sell yourself through your own channels.
Quick question. Is Eric Sermon doing something similar to what you're doing? I remember like Eric Sermon saying something about like how he's trying to help hip hop and independent artists. I'm not sure what the route was. I never got to the full article, but it seemed like he was saying something similar to you. Is it something like that?
Yeah, it's the kind of the motivation and like the mission statements are similar. I don't know the exact details of what Eric Sermon is doing. And then Chris Gotti, Irv Gotti's brother, also has like a digital distribution platform for independent artists. I forget what, I think it's called Adventures. So there are definitely people that are in the industry that are trying to help kind of like this influx of independent artists. My specific mission is to like my value proposition is I'm an artist and an executive, right? So I can thread the space between artistry and the business side as well. Like a lot of guys that are just executives, they can just tell you the business side, but they don't necessarily relate or understand the struggles of an artist. So I'm giving you kind of a holistic approach. This is how you do it as an artist. And then once you have this art, this is how you monetize it. And there's a lot of money to be made as an independent artist. There's a very low startup cost. And if you have the information and like the actual data points and the everything sequenced out for you, you can make a considerable amount of money to where like you could actually be a full-time artist, but you just need to know how to do everything and how to sequence everything. So that's what I'm doing, is building this curriculum that teaches all these different points to independent artists and allow them to monetize their art.
Yo, dude, I am loving it, man. I'm going to share all this information, man. I'm not playing.
Appreciate it,
listen,
man.
This is for the Black culture, man. As you probably haven't noticed, but I've been switching the colors because of, black schemes, black artificial. Just I've been using the black colors, black power type of stuff. For our interview, man. Just stuff. Just I do little quirks just to make me happy and just to kind of go with the.
We looking like cross colors, man.
Exactly. Cross colors, exactly. Yeah. Them t-shirts was like $20. I remember that. I used to be like, like $40, $50.
The jerseys were like $70.
T-shirts are $40, right? T-shirts.
I think t-shirts 50. Were like 40 or 50, and the jerseys were like my bad. 75. Yeah, like the baseball jerseys,
like 100 and I had a friend that's all he wore was cross color. I'm like, dude, you're gonna go broke.
LA swap meet, man. My mom used to buy me the fake cross colors. You get the whole outfit for like $20.
No.
Yo, nobody can tell though.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
they look legit.
Think about it, cross colors it was like probably one of the craziest lines that you can kind of like make up. You can probably sew it in your basement, and people think it's the new cross colors.
Yeah,
people probably got away with murder.
Oh yeah.
People probably got away with murder, man, back then. All right, man. This is Marquis Walker, man. This is Abel Meri, man. Like I said, man, we're gonna put everything that he's talking about, what he's doing as a gentleman and a scholar and an MC and a man of his word. We're gonna put all that in the description. I want to thank Abel Meri for being patient with me, because earlier I friggin' forgot to press start. It started the live broadcast.
I've done it myself many times, man.
Listen, I was so, listen, how people say they get nervous getting on the stage. I get nervous interviewing people. I get nervous just talking to my friends. I get nervous going on live. And then I think I was just nervous because I knew the caliber MC you are, and I do not want to mess this up. I don't want to ruin anything. No, seriously, I don't want to diminish or do anything that's going to hurt your career, because I think you're an all-star. I think you're somebody that's going to be elevating the culture, and that's all I can ask for, and hopefully that's all people can ask for from you, and people hopefully will respect and honor your process as a MC and a gentleman and a man and scholar.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. Likewise.
All right, so this is Marquis Walker, man, with the THHC podcast, episode 35, man. Yo, join me tonight, man, with my friends and colleagues, man. Maybe some other people might come on wacky and talk about, you know, what's going on with COVID Summer Part 2. All right, guys, man, this is Marquis Walker out of here, man. It's Beantown, man. Yo, you know what I say all the time? Love over hate, man. Plain and simple, man. Nothing too crazy, man. All right, y'all. We out of here, man.
Peace.